A Course in Miracles, Lesson 309. I will not fear to look within today. Within me is eternal innocence, because it is God's will that it be there forever and forever. I, His Son, whose will is limitless as is His own, can will no change in this. For to deny my Father's will is to deny my own. To look within is but to find my will as God created it, and as it is. I fear to look within because I think I made another will that is not true and made it real. Yet it has no effects. Within me is the holiness of God. Within me is the memory of Him. The step I take today, my Father, is my sure release from idle dreams of sin. Your altar stands serene and undefiled. It is the holy altar to myself, and there I find my true identity. Lesson 309. I will not fear to look within today. To look within, not without. That's the whole shift right there. The ego says, look out there, find the problem, fix the person, change the scene. But the Holy Spirit says, look within, that's where everything you see began. Within me is eternal innocence, not sometimes innocent. Not innocent until proven guilty. Eternal innocence, the changeless light that never left its source. Because if God's will is that I be holy forever, how could my little will undo His? I fear to look within because I think I made another will, a private kingdom, a secret mind. I imagine I ran from God, slammed the door and built a self that could be different. That's the dream of exile. The Course says the mind is dreaming of exile, but perfectly capable of waking. Capable because it never truly left. When I look within, I don't find the wreckage the ego promised. I find stillness, the altar of light, serene, undefiled. And that word undefiled means pure, free from stain, blemish, or corruption. Think about that. Free from the entire story of sin. The altar is not a place to sacrifice. It's a place to remember. The ego made an altar to the body, to fear, to loss, to lack. But the Holy Spirit gently turns it back into an altar to the self. Capital S. The only self there ever was. And what is that self? It's the light that looks out through the eyes but isn't bound by them. It's the awareness that never began and never ends. The self that God created in His likeness, which cannot be edited, improved, or diminished. Why do we resist looking within? Because we believe the mirror will show guilt. But guilt is the fog on the mirror, not the reflection itself. Wipe the fog and you'll see holiness staring back. The prayer says, the step I take today, my Father, is my sure release from idle dreams of sin. Idle dreams, dreams that go nowhere. Like a car sitting in idle, humming but motionless. The world hums, buzzes, runs its engine of effort, but it never moves an inch toward truth. To look within is to take that single step off the treadmill. The body may still appear to move, but the mind stops spinning. The dream loses gravity. And in that instant, release dawns. The holiness within has never been touched by what the world calls sin. It cannot be bruised by time, guilt, or memory. Every grievance dissolves at the altar because the altar knows nothing of attack. The altar stands serene because the truth never left its post. A metaphor. Picture a snow globe that's been shaken, flakes swirling everywhere. That's the mind lost in perception. But when the shaking stops, when the mind looks within, everything settles. And there, at the center, the little house of light still stands, untouched, unmoved. Or think of a radio that's been mistuned for lifetimes. Static, noise, interference. You twist the dial and think you're changing channels, careers, lovers, identities. But only when you tune within does the signal come through clear. The voice for God was never off the air. You just weren't listening. To look within is not self-analysis. It's self-recognition. It's not about peering into the darkness, but realizing there is no darkness, only light covered by belief. The ego whispers, "Don't look, you won't like what you find." But the Holy Spirit smiles, "Look and see you were never lost. Within me is the holiness of God. What else could be there? Within me is the memory of Him. What else could endure? Within me is the will that cannot change, for it was created perfect." And so the step we take today is not toward heaven. It's a step away from distraction, a step away from false idols, idle dreams, and the body's tiny altar. A step inward to the light that's been waiting patiently all along. Do not fear to look within today, because what you'll find there isn't judgment, it's home.